Why did Amazon accidentally leak Jason Statham's Mutiny? Warning spoilers/industry news. Amazon Prime Video accidentally made the entire 95-minute Mutiny available to U.S. Prime subscribers on August 19, 2026, 2 days before its scheduled August 21st theatrical release. The film was quickly removed, but not before viewers were able to watch it and copies began circulating online. So, how did Amazon accidentally leak a major Jason Statham movie before it even reached theaters? This wasn't supposed to happen. Mutiny was specifically being positioned as a theatrical release, with Jason Statham starring as Cole Reed, a former Royal Marine and bodyguard who becomes caught up in a conspiracy after his billionaire employer is murdered. But on August 19th, something went seriously wrong at Prime Video. For a period of time, people in the United States could open Amazon Prime Video and watch the entire movie. Not a trailer, not a short preview, not a rental, the full movie. And the timing couldn't have been worse. The movie was scheduled to arrive in theaters on August 21st. That meant Amazon effectively put a major theatrical release online for free just hours before its official cinema launch. What exactly happened? The leak appears to have been a back-end or publishing error. According to reporting from The Verge, the full 1 hour and 35-minute film became accessible through the US version of Prime Video. A journalist was able to verify that the movie could actually be played in full. The movie wasn't supposed to be available to Prime subscribers at all. In fact, the Mutiny product page was apparently configured incorrectly, causing the completed movie to appear where viewers would normally see promotional material. Reports indicate the movie remained available for at least around an hour before Amazon removed it. By then, however, the damage had already been done. People had discovered it. People had watched it. And some had recorded or copied the film. Why was Mutiny on Amazon in the first place? This is an important question. Mutiny is a Lionsgate movie, not an Amazon original. It stars Jason Statham and was directed by Jean-François Richet, the director of Plane. The movie was intended to have a theatrical run beginning August 21st. So, why would the finished movie even exist inside Prime Video's system? Because Amazon is involved in the film's eventual digital distribution ecosystem. That means the completed movie can be prepared in advance for later digital availability. The problem wasn't necessarily that Amazon had the movie stored. The problem was that the wrong availability settings appear to have been applied to it. In other words, the movie was apparently sitting inside Amazon's system, waiting for its proper release window. Something went wrong with the publishing configuration. And suddenly, instead of coming to theaters August 21st, viewers effectively got Watch Now. Was it an intentional marketing stunt? There's been speculation that Amazon intentionally leaked the movie, but there is currently no credible evidence that this was a publicity stunt. The circumstances strongly suggest an accidental release. The movie was pulled quickly. It wasn't promoted through Amazon's normal channels. And neither Amazon nor the filmmakers have publicly indicated that the early availability was intentional. The Verge specifically reported that there was no indication the leak was an intentional marketing strategy. So the simplest explanation is also the most likely. Someone made a serious publishing mistake. Why is this such a big deal? Because Mutiny wasn't supposed to be streaming yet. This wasn't a movie that had already been released theatrically and was accidentally made available a few days early. It was still waiting for its theatrical debut. That makes the leak potentially much more damaging. Movie studios spend enormous amounts of money convincing audiences to go to theaters during opening weekend. The first few days are particularly important. A movie's opening weekend affects box office headlines, theater bookings, international distribution, future marketing, investor expectations, word of mouth. And suddenly, anyone with access to Prime Video could potentially watch the movie from home before paying for a cinema ticket. The movie wasn't just leaked in a trailer. This is what makes the story unusual. Sometimes streaming platforms accidentally reveal a poster. Sometimes they upload an incorrect trailer. Sometimes an episode appears a few hours early. But this was much more serious. The complete feature film was accessible. The movie runs approximately 95 minutes. Viewers weren't simply able to see the opening scene. They could watch the entire story from beginning to end. That means the leak potentially exposed The complete plot, major twists, character deaths, the ending, action sequences, the final confrontation, any post-credit material. And once somebody has access to a complete digital copy, removing it from Prime Video can't completely undo the damage. What happened after Amazon removed it? Amazon eventually took the movie down. The Prime Video listing changed to unavailable. But by then, copies had reportedly begun circulating online. This is the biggest problem with digital leaks. Once the source file escapes the platform, removing the original listing doesn't remove the copies. People can redistribute the file, and that creates a piracy problem for the studio and distributors. Reports have indicated that the leak triggered concern among international buyers and distribution partners. Why are film buyers angry? This is perhaps the most important business consequence. Mutiny reportedly had a production cost of more than $50 million, while Lionsgate is understood to have paid a significant amount for distribution rights. International distributors also invest money based on the expectation that the movie will have a protected theatrical window. If audiences can watch a high-quality copy at home before release, distributors could potentially lose ticket sales. And that doesn't only affect Lionsgate. It can affect cinema chains, international distributors, film buyers, marketing partners, the filmmakers, and ultimately, the value of future theatrical deals. That's why this isn't being treated as a funny Amazon mistake inside the industry. For people who invested millions in the movie's theatrical rollout, it's potentially a serious financial problem. Could the leak hurt the box office? Potentially. But it's impossible to say yet exactly how much damage it will cause. There's an important difference between people watching a leaked movie and people choosing not to see it in theaters because they watched the leak. Jason Statham has a strong audience for theatrical action movies, and Mutiny is designed as a traditional action thriller. It's also the type of film that can benefit from a big screen and sound system. So some people who discovered the leak may still decide to see it in theaters. Others may decide they've already seen it. That's why the next few days of box office results will be particularly interesting. Has Amazon explained how it happened? Not publicly, at least based on the latest reports. As of August 21st, there has been no detailed public explanation from Amazon identifying the exact technical mistake. That's important. We can say the movie was accidentally made available. We can report that it appeared on Prime Video ahead of schedule. We can report that it was removed. But we cannot confidently say exactly which employee, system, or setting caused the error. That's still unknown. And there has been no confirmed evidence that a specific person was responsible. Could Amazon face consequences? Potentially. The financial consequences could be significant depending on the terms of Amazon's agreements with Lionsgate and other rights holders. The more important issue, however, may be the relationship between streaming platforms and theatrical distributors. A mistake like this can make international film buyers nervous. If a distributor buys the rights to a movie expecting an exclusive theatrical window, they need confidence that the film won't accidentally become available worldwide through another platform. That's why reports of angry buyers are significant. The incident isn't just about one movie. It raises questions about digital release controls. What happens to Mutiny now? Despite the leak, the movie is still receiving its planned theatrical release. As of today, August 21st, 2026, Mutiny is officially opening in U.S. theaters. It is not currently supposed to be available for normal streaming on Prime Video. The eventual digital and streaming release is expected later, rather than immediately replacing the theatrical run. So, if you're looking for the legitimate way to watch the movie right now, the intended option is the theater. The bigger story. The Mutiny leak is fascinating because it shows just how fragile the modern movie release system can be. A movie can spend years in development. Millions can be spent on production. Studios can spend millions more on marketing. Theaters can schedule screens. International distributors can buy rights. And then one incorrect setting on a streaming platform can potentially make the entire movie available to millions of people before opening night. That's what makes this such a remarkable story. It wasn't a sophisticated hack. It wasn't a deliberate release. It wasn't a mysterious piracy operation. It appears to have been a simple platform mistake with potentially multi-million-dollar consequences. Final answer. So, Why did Amazon accidentally leak Jason Statham's Mutiny? The exact technical cause has not been publicly explained. What we do know is that Amazon Prime Video briefly made the complete 95-minute film available to U.S. subscribers on August 19th, roughly 2 days before its scheduled August 21st theatrical release. The most likely explanation is a back-end publishing or rights window error that mistakenly marked the movie as available for streaming. Amazon quickly removed it, but by then, viewers had already watched the movie and copies had begun spreading online. And because Mutiny was still waiting for its theatrical debut, the timing created a potentially serious problem for Lionsgate, international distributors, and theaters. There is no credible evidence that Amazon intentionally leaked the movie as a marketing stunt. For now, it looks like a massive digital distribution mistake. And the irony is almost perfect. Jason Statham's character spends Mutiny trying to uncover a conspiracy after being framed for a crime. Meanwhile, outside the movie, Amazon accidentally created its own real-world mystery. How did an unreleased $50 million-plus theatrical movie suddenly become free to watch on Prime Video? Until Amazon explains exactly what went wrong, that's the part of the Mutiny story that remains unsolved.